Alright, today we are going over the only 3 exercises you need to do for your hamstrings. So if you are ready, let's see the first one.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no love for the fake.
And that is going to be hamstring curl, because it does exactly what your hamstring do, flexing your knee. Now, it doesn't matter if you are using the seated variation or the lying one, even though the seated variation is just so much better in everything, but the lying one is just going to do it if you don't have anything else in your gym. The only mistake I see is what actually gained popularity over the times is flexing your toes or just pushing them down.
If you wanna play tough and wanna hate,
You are trying to disadvantage your calves, even though your calves are doing the first few degrees of knee flexion. So just because you disadvantage them, it is not going to be more hamstrings, it is still going to be your calves doing that first few degrees. So just keep them neutral. The only difficult part is your hip when you're using the lying one. Some people say it is dangerous for your hip to arch, but it is not.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit.
If you arch it, it is going to make the hamstrings loose, and that's why you can get your hips closer to your butt. Now it is not going to be worse or even better, but if you keep your hip neutral, you can't go all the way up, which is fine.
I got no love for the fakeness.
I prefer keeping it neutral and then just going up with my heel all the way, and then once I can't do it without any arch, that's the end of the range of motion. But by all means, sometimes I throw in the hip arching here and there.
If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and
Second one is stiff leg deadlift. Why? Because your hamstring has the most leverage in this setup. Again, it is common belief that you have to touch the floor, but actually, once you push your hip all the way back and keep your leg straight, or you can have an invisible bend there, that's the end of the range of motion. Now, if you go all the way down and you can't push your hip back anymore, all you are going to do is round at your hip and load your lower back. Now, if that's not your goal, then you don't have to do that. Just push your hip back as far as you can. And once you can't do that anymore, that's it. Push it all the way forward. Now, the only thing is, whenever I'm doing a stiff leg deadlift with myself or with my clients, we stay in the 5 to 10 rep ranges because it's a highly fatiguing exercise. Hamstrings are quite susceptible for muscle damage. It only means that if you do too much, then you're going to be sore for the rest of the week.
So passionate, every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past.
And the last one is Nordic hamstring curl. And I'm going to be honest with you. That's the worst exercise you can do for hypertrophy. Why? Because it's highly fatiguing and most people can't even do enough reps to stimulate good muscle growth. I'm only talking about like doing 4 or 5 unassisted, going all the way down and then coming all the way up. If it's not an optimal exercise, why am I doing it? Quite simple. Not everything has to be optimal just for you to do it. If you are willing to learn it, invest your time in it and progress it, then you can do at least 5 reps with good form. You can even load the exercise and then see what happens with your hamstrings.
The pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness, hilarious. You think you're worth my time, you're delirious, mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior, inferior. You know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit.
And just remember, within one training day, you don't have to do all 3 of these exercises, not even 2 of them, especially not the seated and the lying hamstring curl on the same day, because it is just redundant. It does the same thing. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, watch this video about glute training, another one of my favorite about shoulders. I'm going to talk to you in the next one.